Hello, everybody. Welcome back to more Marvel United. Today we're playing against Omega Red as Cloak and Dagger. We are using the locations Avalon, Island M, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, Adirondack Mountains, Krakoa, and Cape Citadel. He's got no special setup rules. He's going to have 4 health. Heroes with crisis tokens can't have more than 3 cards in hand at any time. They must discard card down to 3 if they have more, and they don't draw cards if they already have 3 in hand. When a hero is KO'd, Omega Red doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, draw a Master Playing card and add it face down to the storyline. His BAM is 1 hero in any location, takes 1 crisis token, then deal 1 damage to each hero in Omega Red's location and in both adjacent ones. Overflow, deal 1 damage among heroes in that location for each token you couldn't add. So he's pretty basic sounding. So I think we can handle this hopefully pretty easily. We're going to go ahead and roll where he starts 6. So he's going to start here. We start here in Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. His threat cards, we've got Scare Civilians, add 1 civilian to any location, add 1 civilian in he's got 3 of those, and Endless Thugs, add a thug. So 3 and 3. So yeah, he's extremely basic. The card draw thing is a little interesting, but I guess it kind of stops you from overhealing. But he has to BAM. And it looks like we can keep doing it to the same person. I'm wondering if maybe he's got cards in here that does damage to people with crisis. But we'll find out. So he's going to fill up the board very quickly. So we'll see if we can handle that. So first card, move 2 and BAM. Up here. And his BAM is 1 hero in any location, takes 1 crisis token. So we'll give it to Dagger, I guess, or Cloak. Or no, she's Dagger. Dagger and Cloak. Dagger and Cloak. Makes sense. He's got the big cloak. Then deal 1 damage to each hero in Omega Red's location and in both adjacent one to each hero. So they each have to take a damage. We're going to go ahead and get rid of his move star for Cloak, and for Dagger, we're going to get rid of her move punch. That way we have a punch and star. BAMs, so we've got, I'm going to need a lot of tokens here for this guy. So we've got Civilian, Thug, Civilian, Thug, Thug, Civilian. Life Force Absorption. Omega Red gains 1 health for each damage dealt to the heroes during the villain turn. May go above, so he's going to go to 6. He dealt 2 damage this round. That's not good. Might be a little bit more difficult than we thought, but it goes to us. He doesn't have a crisis, so he can draw. Can't have more than 3 cards, so as long as we have 3 cards, then he can go up to 4. But he took damage, so his starting card is Dark Force Teleportation. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you may use move to move it to any location. If Dagger is in your location, she can move with you. Well, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to place that star here. So he can use move to move anywhere. That's kind of OP. Dagger, she just can't have more than 3. Her starting card is Light Force Generation. As long as the card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in hand, you may immediately perform a free star in your location. That is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and do that. Move star so we're going to star We can move somewhere. We're going to move here. All right, cloak. And I'm going to make sure, I should probably keep these cards like a little higher than everything else, just so I remember that that was a thing. You draw a wild. Dark Force Channeling. Remove both cloak and a henchman in this location from play. At the beginning of your next turn, put them in any location with no threat and deal 2 damage to that henchman. Okay, we can't use that very well right now, so we're going to do his... So we got to move and 2 star, or 2 wilds. We'll use 1 wild to get rid of this, giving us a clear threat. And then we'll move here and save a civilian. Goes to his turn. Move 0 and bam. So we can give... I'm going to give Cloak Dagger 1. I don't know what's going to happen with those crisis tokens, but I feel like something's coming. Then deal 1 damage to each hero in... So she's got to take a damage. We'll do her move star. Civilian. Thug. 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 And civilian. I got a feeling we're going to overflow from this. So overflow. The overflow is deal 1 damage among heroes in that location for each token you couldn't add, so no damage. Overflow, she takes 2 damage, which KOs her. Draw a Master Plan card and put it face down. Overflow, no damage. Ouch. She's going to go first, so she comes back up, drawing 4. That's what we drew. We're going to do Light Force Daggers. Move, fight against up to 3 different targets in your location. So beat up 3. 3 thugs. We can move and we have 2 wilds. Gotta move here. Save a guy and put a star down. Okay. Oh yeah, she can't draw up to 4, so we gotta put... We weren't supposed to draw 1. We'll put 1 at the top. Even if they're KO'd, I think it says. Yeah, because she's got crisis tokens, so I put 1 back. He's got a move, which he can do anywhere in a wild. We'll do a punch. We'll move here, and we'll punch a guy. Back to Cloak's turn. Moves. We just got the card. We move back, so she can punch or save. We'll do this, so she can... We'll save a guy. Actually, we'll move, punch a guy, save a guy, and that's that. We're a little disorganized here. We are at 3. Oh wait, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in the hand, you may immediately perform a free star. So she was here, so free star to save a guy. No, she was up there. So she started here and started there, so we can do free stars. So we'll use the free star on that. All right, his turn. Move 2, bam. So somebody's got to take a crisis. I'm just going to keep giving him the dagger. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. We can give 1 the cloak, sure. 1 the cloak. Bam. 1 damage to cloak. We'll put Dark Force Channeling at the bottom. And then overflow, no damage. thug, civilian, civilian, and thug. And then he overflows this again. Nothing. Oh, overflow. Cloak takes a damage, knocking him out. Boy, he loves to overflow. Then overflow there, no damage. All right, cloak starts. We draw up to 3. 1, 2, 3. Because we have a crisis. So we drew. We got a move star currently. And we can star. So we got 2 star, which I'll use to save these 2. Then I have a move. Move here. Dagger's turn, which he gets a free star, which I'll use to save a guy. Well, actually, I'll use the free star on this. Then she's got turn up to 2 thugs in your location, then rescue them, which we don't need right now in a fight. We'll use a wild, and we will get rid of this, giving us a clear threat. Back to Dagger's turn. Move star. Or move punch. We'll do move punch. Go over here and punch punch. His turn. Move 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. We got to keep giving crisis tokens. We got to start going around the map. We're kind of running low on tokens here from this guy. Thug. Civilian. Overflow, no damage. Thug. All right, that was his bam. Then 1 thug, overflow, no damage. Overflow, no damage. Overflow, no damage, because they have to be on the location. Dagger starts. He's got a move punch. We got 2 punch. Fortunately, we might have to waste. Well, we got 2 moves, so 1, 2. Punch, punch. Clearing this. He can now axe every 2 turns. Cloak. Daggers in your location. She may draw cards. So we have 3 in her hand. Oh, we got the free save from her Light Force regeneration. Move star. We will move star. I'll move twice. I can move here. Star. Move here. Punch. Fortunately, we needed 1 more blue, so he's going to get a pretty quick turn here. Move 5, bam, which would put him here. Bam. I got a feeling we're going to get KO'd pretty quickly here. We're going to find out. I've got a feeling those crisis tokens aren't just for show. Bam. Adjacent. Light Force. Dagger takes a damage. Then overflow, no damage. Thug. Thug. And a thug. And then overflow. Overflow, knocking out Dagger. Then 2 Civilians here. Back to our turn. Dagger starts. We have a star. I will do a move punch. So I can move star somewhere. I'll just move over here. Star. Allowing us to delete that. He's able to take damage now. Then the second move, we'll move where he was and hit him for 1. Dagger goes back. She can only have 3 cards. We got double wild. So move and hit him for 3. Taking him down to 2. His turn, move 3. 1, 2, 3. Overflow. There is no BAM this turn, luckily. That would have hurt. All right. Back to our turn. Dagger starts. We'll put a move punch down. We're not going to do anything. Well, we will get rid of 2 guys here with the wild. But we're not going to move for a reason. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we'll stay where we're at. Then, unfortunately, we got a star. Gonna move us both. Actually, I might just move myself. Move myself. Hit him for 1, putting him at 1 health. And we can star. Saving this guy. And we just gotta survive 1 more round. If Dagger's in your location, she may draw cards. She has 3 in her hand. It's probably a good idea to do that. She had her free star. Here we go. Move 5, BAM. That'll put him here. BAM. I'll do it there. Cloak takes a damage. We'll do his Dark Force channeling at the bottom. Overflow, no damage. Thug. Overflow, nothing. 1 civilian. Overflow again. Overflow again, no damage. Overflow, cloak takes a damage. Puts this down. He's got 1 more card. We survived. Back to our turn. Cloak's going to start. He can only have 3. We're going to wild. We're going to use it to move and I guess just save a guy. It's not what we need. Dagger's turn. And she doesn't have a punch either. That's not good. We can get rid of this. We'll get rid of this one. I think we just lost off of that because we don't have a punch. Unfortunately. And she has a free star. Unfortunately, not drawing a punch there, I think just costs us the game. So I think we're going to die. Depending on what his last card is. We're going to find out. Move 1 and BAM. So 1 crisis. BAM. Overflow, no damage. Oh, and then Cloak's got to take a damage. Overflow, no damage. Overflow, no damage. Overflow, no damage. Overflow again. 1 red. 1 red overflow, or no overflow. And we got 1 turn to kill him, which I don't think Cloak can do. It's a move star. And Cloak's got to draw. Yeah, we could lose. Because that's a star. End of turn. Another hero in this location may either draw cards play of 3 or gain. Yeah. Turn up to 2 thugs. Yeah, we can't do anything there. So Cloak and Dagger lose. They didn't really synergize very well, unfortunately. But they do lose the game. All right. We're back. Everybody's reset. We're playing as Wolverine and Jean Grey. We lost Cloak and Dagger. They are out. Yeah. Let's get to it. We're going to play his first card. Move 4 and bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Fell over. Bam. We got to put Crisis. I think I'm just going to keep giving them to Jean Grey the whole game and see what happens. His bam. Take 1 damage for both of them. Do his move star. Jean Grey's move star. Then bams. We gotta, let me put out some tokens here for myself. Blue, red, blue, red, red, blue. And then Life Force Absorption. Omega Red gains 1 health for each damage dealt to heroes. How did we get that again at the start? I swear I shuffled. He gains 6 health. So good start again. Wolverine goes first. We're going to use his healing factor so he can heal the start of a villain phase. We get 1 star, which we're going to rescue a civilian with. Jean Grey's turn. We're going to use the double wild. So we're going to use all 3 of those to get rid of a threat. Back to Wolverine. We're going to move, punch a guy, and then save a guy and put 1 star down on this one. His turn. Move 4, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to just keep giving the Crisis to Jean. Wolverine's got to take a damage. We'll do his Adamantium Claws, because I want that for later. Bam. Oh, and adjacent. So Jean Grey's got to take... I will do her single wild, I guess. So red, blue, red, red, blue. Back to our turn. Jean Grey's going to start. So move star. So we got 2 moves. So we're going to move here, punch, move over here, save a guy. Wolverine's turn. He gets to draw 2 cards because of his healing factor. Going to triple star. So use the double to get rid of this. Use the extra star to save a guy. End of turn. If there are any civilians in this location, you may deal 1 damage to a thug or henchman in this or adjacent locations. Going to do that. Punch this guy. Jean Grey's turn. We have 2 telepathies. Swap the previous hero card in the storyline with any other hero card in the storyline. I'm going to do that. Switch this with the wild. And we get 3 wilds, which we're going to use to get rid of this one, giving us a clear threat. His turn. Move 2 and bam. Crisis. She takes the damage and gets KO'd. Just makes him put down a face down card. Bam. Overflow, no damage to nothing. Overflow does nothing. Omega Red gains 1 health for each damage dealt to, so he goes up to 7 health. Luckily, we have Wolverine who can spit out a lot of damage. Wolverine's first player this time. Going to do Adamantium Claw, so 2 wild, use 1 to move. Beat up 2 guys. And use another wild to save a guy. Jean Grey draws 3. Double punch, major telekinesis, or a move punch. We're going to do move punch. So move over here, punch 1, punch another one. Wolverine goes again. We got another Adamantium Claw. We're just going to use a single punch, move over here, and actually, no, I don't want to use, well, we only have punches, so punch a guy, and I don't want to get rid of that yet, so we're not going to use his second punch. His turn, move 0 and bam, which does a damage to Jean Grey. Unfortunately, she's taking a lot of damage here. Bam, get a red here. Red. Red. Overflow where she's at. Knocking her out. She can't catch a break. And then 2 here. All right, good turn. Not really. Jean Grey goes first. She gets 3. 2 blue, which is what we need. Oh, yeah, sure. 2 star, save a guy. Use 1 of the stars. This Wolverine gets 4 cards because of the healing factor. Wild. We use the wild to move and then save 2 guys. Back to Jean's turn. There's the move star we wanted. So we will move over here. Star. And then I'll use the wild to beat up a guy where we were, clearing both those at the same time. His turn. Move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lethal spores. 1 hero in any location takes 1 crisis token. Heroes choose. And takes 1 damage for each crisis token they take or have, which wipes her out again. She cannot catch a break at all. No bam. No bam. Back to our turn. Wolverine's going to start. Double wild to move. We'll use the double wild. We'll move here and beat up a guy. Then double star, I guess. Jean's turn. Going to use a wild. We're going to use a wild to move and hit him for 2, putting him down to 5. His turn, move 5, bam. Just put him up here. Crisis. Put it on Wolverine. This time, both of them take a damage. Put his single move. I'll put Jean Grey's telepathy. And then we're going to overflow here later. So overflow where he's at, no damage. Overflow here, he's going to take a damage. And then he puts 2 blue here. He's going to get the heal. It's going to be Jean Grey's starting anyways. We're going to do double star, or double punch. So wild to move, hit him for 2, putting him at 3. Oop, that needs to go there. And this goes here. Wolverine's turn. We're going to do his move punch, giving him 4 punch. We're going to move over, punching him for 4, and knocking out Omega Red. Very generic villain. I mean, it's a new way to do damage, I guess, just making everything freaking overflow and making it so people can't have more health than they need. Like basically reducing people's health and stuff, but kind of generic.